Welcome to Learn by Choice. So in this video we are going to talk about how biases affecting your personal finance. So before going to the subject, let me give you some facts. So in the country there are 5 crore Demat accounts, and of late we are observing lot of salaried people, they are opening Demat accounts and they start investing in the stocks, and the household savings constitute more than 20% of the country's GDP. So the household savings is important factor as far as the GDP is concerned, and which is being collected by the various financial institutions to fund various infrastructure or maybe development activities. We have to understand why a person saves. A person may save for so many reasons, maybe for educating his kids in the future, and for constructing the home, or for even people are saving for holiday purpose, and also for medical reasons. So there are various kinds of asset classes are available. Asset classes, what I mean is various types of financial instruments which are available for a person to invest. So basically Indian mindset is the Indians, we invest in real estate and gold. These are all the two important asset classes where Indians save. In addition to that, the lot of savings is being put in bank fixed deposits where you get fixed rate of returns. People get the rate of returns offered by various banks, and accordingly there is not much to be thought about placing a fixed deposit in a bank. But of late we are observing lot of retail investors, lot of people, they are investing in shares and mutual funds. So shares and mutual funds are market based, where the money whatever is collected, it is invested in market. So according to the performance of the market, the returns are generated. And this biases is part of behavioral finance. So before investing in market based schemes like shares or maybe in mutual funds, one should understand the value of the stock, and he should do this fundamental analysis, and also objectively he should analyze the performance of the company before investing. So there are various tools are available, there are various ratios are available, and if you are a novice, and it is better you give your money to the fund managers, professional fund managers through mutual funds or NPS, National Pension System, which is also offering good returns, which is managed by Government of India through Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority. So in this video, we will be talking about various biases. So biases are nothing but your mental opinion or your mindset which you form while investing in a particular company which is related to. And this mindset normally it may take you for an irrational exuberance, so to take certain decision which is not in the interest of your financial well-being, which may offer the right or wrong return over a period of time. So we will discuss one by one some of the biases in this video, and this video we will be also telling you how these biases can be overcome. And normally to overcome the bias, and you should have the sound analysis of a particular company, or you should also be not hesitant to seek opinion. So what are the biases in one investment? So as I told, bias is behavioral finance, and it's also a psychological pitfall one should keep in mind. So bias is irrational assumption. It's not based on any logical reason, and it's a belief based on your own mindset. There is no factual information is needed for making your own bias. Based on your understanding, you form your own opinion, whether it is correct or wrong. It's a psychological pitfall, and it will lead you many times to the wrong decision making. So decision making is of two types. One is reflexive, the other is reflective. In reflexive decision making process, you don't apply your mind, and it's based on the gut feeling, and it's always effortless and default. What comes to your mind, it's reflexive. And in reflexive decision making, it's logical, methodical. You do a fundamental analysis, you do objective analysis, and you make your mind, or you make a decision based on the facts available. So bias is a behavioral finance, and retail investors, they are opening lot of Demat accounts, they are putting money directly into equity, and so market is always market. So it's very difficult to predict the market. Some reasons which is driving the market. So market may behave, it's a bearish market or bullish market. Bullish means it's going crazy, and bearish market is very dull. And greed and fear always drives the market. Out of greed, people will buy a lot of things, and out of fear, you sell a lot of your shares. Market will make a lot of sounds, or maybe I can call it as cacophony and irrational exuberance. There is no rational reason for behaving the way the market is behaving. And people used to tell that a lot of foreign funds are coming, FIIs are coming. So better corporate results are happening. So corporates are showing good profit. So it is the right time for investing in the market for a long-term goal. And the stimulus government, or maybe the US government, they are announcing a lot of stimulus. So that's why market is going to perform, or the Sensex or Nifty is going to reach certain level. And easy money which is available in the market, people may tell that this market will go higher and higher in future. And credit availability, because of rate cut by Reserve Bank, or maybe the Federal Reserve Bank in United States. So the credit availability is easy. The India or maybe any country is having huge growth potential. So these are all the positive vibes people used to tell. So you have to remove all these sounds and you have to go for objective analysis. Same reasons, there may be some pessimistic outlook also put forth by some people. Inflation is a problem. Inflation is going up, and India is a complex country, or maybe for that matter any country is a complex country, and the stocks or shares are highly valuated. And the current times, that vaccine, when the COVID was entering into the country from China, so people used to tell it is going to affect huge population, and the vaccine also will be rolled out after 3-4 years. Now vaccine is going to come. Now the pessimists always tell that the vaccine, it needs to be transported in a very storage. So how they are going to transport it in a cold storage units? So the trade wars between two countries, for example, this America and China, it's going to affect India. So this is also another pessimistic outlook. And the deficits of the central government and also state revenue or fiscal deficits. And they also may tell that the state governments, they have a lot of gaps in the finance. So that also one of the pessimistic outlook. One of the major mindset or bias is pain of a loss is more than pressure of gain. So you lose 1,000 rupees, and in other transaction you gain rupees 2,000 rupees, but the pain of losing 1,000 rupees will be more. This is a psychological mindset, and you should try to overcome it. Confirmation and anchoring bias. So here confirmation means it's a tendency to see and hear what one wants to see and hear. So what I want to see and hear, I will always see. I will not go beyond that. So it means whatever is pleasing me, that only I will see. Anchoring bias. So this is anchoring bias is you anchor, or maybe you fix your opinion on certain things. For example, here it's actually the anchoring bias play a lot in loss aversion, and you buy a stock at the rate of rupees 100, and when the particular stock price is going up to 150 rupees, you don't sell. And even in a very bullish market, the same stock price is going up to 200 rupees, there also you don't sell because you are greedy. So now suddenly what happens, that price has come down to 90 rupees. So that time also you don't sell, but you wait for the price to reach 200 rupees. So this is called you are anchoring to rupees 200. And the greed for profit. So you are always greed for a certain profit. Because of that, you will be selling early. For example, in the same example, the 100 rupees stock you are buying, and 150 rupees once it reaches, and you sell it. So you are avoiding the stock to reach 200 rupees, and because of that, the upside potential, profit potential of that particular stock, you are losing. So this is another set of bias. Then overconfidence and self-attribution. It means you take credit for gains. For example, you take a decision, and because of that, and the stock is well performing, and you are able to make sizable profit, and you take credit for the gains for the decision you have taken. But if the same stock is coming down, and you blame that I took this decision based on somebody's advice, so you blame others for loss, whereas you take credit for gains. So because of that overconfidence, what is happening is you will try to put a lot of money in a particular sector, for example banking or FMCG, or maybe this IT stock, you will put lot of money in that particular sector, so that it's lead to concentration risk. So then another is self-attributions. Both are related. You attribute the gains to your own stock picking skills, whereas the loss you are blaming to others. So in bull market, when the share index is going up and up, and always it creates that the benefits are going to continue. So it's always an illusion. So you think that in a bullish market, you take credit for your skill set, whereas it's a luck, but you are taking credit for the skill. You think that because of my skill set, I am able to do good performance, show good performance. But whereas you don't have any stock picking skills, even in a bullish market, when the market is going crazy, there is no need, or you even without any stock picking skills, and you may able to make good profit. Then the other bias is herding and recency bias. In herding, do what others do. If everyone is investing in IT sector and you also invest, that is called herding. And if everyone is investing in a banking stock, lot of news about bank, then you go and invest because others are doing, and you think that you will be you will think that you will be missed out. So that's called fear of miss out. And lot of people will see that they will discuss with you that I gained this much money on the listing day. It's called listing gains, and because of that you are forced to invest in a risky business model. You don't understand the business model, but you are investing, and the value, it's a pricey valuation. Even then you are paying huge price to buy a stock. And flavors of this flavor of the season stock. For example, in a particular season, for example, banking stock or healthcare stocks, a lot of people will be talking about that. Social media will be writing. Then you go about investing in that particular stock. Then the recency bias. Here, you always attribute, that will be in your mind, that what happened recently. So that is called recent bias. You forget what happened maybe a year back or maybe 2 years back, but recently what happened, that only will be in your mind. And you also think that recently certain sector XYZ or sector is doing well, so this will continue to do well in the future also. That may not be the case. Then hindsight bias, it means that believe the past glory. You think that some past glory, past trends, it will continue in future. That in hindsight, you see that particular banking stock has performed well, and you presume that this banking stock will perform better in the future also. Then chasing the trends. For example, in the past, some FMCGs or IT sector, they have performed well. This trend will continue in future. And you neglect the probability of loss. And you oversimplify the things, and you analyze a company's performance based on the single data available. For example, the sales, or maybe some of the their operating margin, or maybe their investment, or maybe that the sales portfolio. All these things based on single data, available data, you take it and think that this will perform well. So how to avoid bias? This is very important in personal finance. You are putting your hard-earned money, and it should earn money. If you are not confident about investing directly in the share market, there are a lot of avenues are available. You can put the money in a bank fixed deposit, even though the rate of returns are very low. But there are also other avenues where there are fund managers. They are operating your money. For example, you can put the money in national pensions system or mutual funds. They can also put the money. So you have to always question the assumption. For example, you have some kind of confirmation bias or maybe recency bias, and try to question the assumption. Why this opinion is formed in our mind, and always don't hesitate to seek opinion from others, experts. Be humble that you may be at fault and others are right. Yes. Then fundamental analysis. You do a threadbare analysis of the company, and then you should have the goal to have investment, goal-based investment. You should have mind whether it is short-term goal or medium or long-term. According to that, if it is a short-term, better put the money in a bank fixed deposits. That is better. And asset allocation or reallocation. Whenever you see that some sector is not performing well, and or you foresee that some sector is not going to perform well in the future, then you have to go for reallocation of the assets. And exposure limit. You should not overexpose to a particular sector, and you also should avoid concentration. So both are interlinked. And always keep in mind, whenever you are investing in directly in shares or in mutual funds, the past performance is not the guarantee for future. Yes, that you have to keep in mind always. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to Learn by Choice for more and more videos.